23. Ghatavabhasako deepaha Ghatadanyo yatheshyate Dehavabhasako dehi Tathaham bodha vigraha. You've seen the meaning of it. What is the meaning? First thing in the morning quiz. What's the meaning? Yeah. Yeah, that is the answer for any of these verses. Dr. Desh plays it safe. Yeah. So, you can objectify something. Yeah. So, Ghata Avabhasako, the illuminer and the illumined. That is the thing. Yeah. So, supposing it's pitch dark, and you have, see, the old example of lamp and all doesn't work very well because who lights lamps, Yeah, nobody lights lamps. So now you have to think of it in terms of your flashlight in the handheld device. You have a flashlight in the, what is that, phone. So you turn it on, and then you find out where you are. Maybe there is a power outage. You cannot see. So you turn it on and then you light something up and there is something on the floor. Let us say there is, the cover of the glasses on the floor. Even pot, nobody relates to anymore. Yeah. Pot belly, yes, but not pot. So let's say the glasses cover is on the floor. And then you don't know what it is. You see something dim, you direct the flashlight, and then what does the flashlight do? It illumines the object, namely here the cover of the glasses. And in the ancient example, the lamp and the pot. So the lamp illumines ghata, pot. Oh, they are far away. Okay. Lamp illumines ghata, because the ghata, the pot, is shrouded in darkness. You cannot see even what it is. And then the lamp, or the flashlight illumines the ghata. Now, what is the relationship between the lamp and the pot? That is the question that we need to answer here. What is the relationship? Illuminer and illumined. So the illuminer, is it the same as the illumined? Say no, so we can move on. Illuminer is not the same as the illumined. The flashlight behind your phone, at the back of your phone, is not the same thing as that which it lights up. Those are two different things. So the lighter upper and the lit up are not the one and the same. They cannot be, because the need to light something up comes why? It comes as a result of understanding the plain fact that it is unable to broadcast itself. The pot cannot illumine itself unless there are some isotopes in it or something like that, and it is glowing neon. Otherwise it cannot illumine itself. It is jada. Jada means insentient, inert. Whereas that, because of which it needs to be illumined. It cannot say, hello, I am pot, look at me. I'm a cute teaching pot. Yeah. Vedanta pot. It's not like the lowly pots that carry water and all these things. It is a Vedanta pot. Teaching pot. Look at me, I'm a teaching pot. It is unable to broadcast itself. It is not self-evident. In other words, it is not self-evident. A, it is not self-illumined. B, what is it? It is just a an object that needs to be lit up, brought to light, so to speak, both literally and figuratively. We'll see it literally first. So it needs to be brought to light. Ghata needs to be brought to light. It got a little nervous, but anyhow, I'll put it down. Ghata needs to be brought to light. Why? Because it is unable to bring itself to light. So it needs a special light behind your phone to be able to say, to be able to light it up, after which you say, aha, this is pot. Ghatam janami. I know this pot. Yeah, I know this pot.
Can't hear.
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 Type in this, log out and log back in, because sometimes if the connection is lost. 1 minute, wait. Read the chat box. Read. So, Ghata is an object, and the object needs to be brought to light. Now, the relationship between the illuminer and the illumined is they are not one and the same. In fact, the illuminer is the one that illumines. Its job is to light it up. The flashlight's job is to light it up. The pot, it doesn't do anything. The pot cannot even say, I am pot, I exist, look at me. It cannot say that. So this is the drishtanta. Drishtanta means example. This is the example. Now, every drishtanta has what is called darshtanta. Darshtanta means what is exemplified. So the first line is the example. And what is the example? Just as yatha, just as ghata avabhasakaha, the illuminer of the pot, which is what? Deepaha, the lamp. Ghatad anyaha ishyate. Ghatad anyaha means the illuminer of the pot, namely the lamp, is separate from the pot. It is separate from the pot. Ishyate means this is a fact that is accepted. Okay? So then the next line is what is called darshtanta. What is the use of this example? What is it trying to tell us? What is this example trying to tell us? The next line is going to say, yeah, tatha means in the same manner. Tatha deha avabhasakaha. Here there is something that lights up here there is something that lights up the body. Deha, etc. we have to take. But let us first take deha, body, because the body we can see. There is some space to understand that it is separate from the eye. There is some space. So deha tatha means in the same manner, deha avabhasakaha, the illuminer of the body. Dehat anyaha, it is separate from the body. But this doesn't make any sense. What do you mean the illuminer of the body is separate from the body? The body also needs to be brought to light. We have to now go from the literal to the figurative. Body needs to be brought to light doesn't mean that you take your cell phone and go like this. The flashlight. That doesn't, that's not the idea. So the illumined body, the body needs to be illumined, has to be taken figuratively. Illumined means made sentient, made capable of shining in borrowed light. Like the crow attending the peacock convention. How? By dressing up as a peacock. It saw that they were dancing and having a good time. It put a few feathers. Crows are very intelligent. Yes. And it went in. And then all the feathers fell off. And it was booted out of the convention. So similarly, this body is not able to say anything about itself. It is inert, jada. No, it's not inert. I have temperature. Look, I have 98.6. How do you say that it is insentient? It is insentient. Because of the proximity of the illuminer, which is what here is called as Dehin. What is Dehin? The one that is in the Deha. Dehin. So Dehin means the one that is the indweller of this body. Who is the indweller of the body? The one that can say, today the body is not feeling very good. I have aches and pains. I have some challenges. I have to go see the doctor. I have to go here. I have to get some. I have to have some Tylenol. The one that is saying that is the Dehi. Each time you make a comment about the body, you are illumining the body, which is unable to illumine itself. There is only one source of self-evident I, that which is evident to itself, and everything becomes evident to which. That is what I call I. That is what the Shastra also calls as I. And this I alone is, and then it lights up everything. It lights up the body, because each time you say, I am feeling really good today, the body is feeling really good today. The body feels like jumping up and down and dancing. Somebody told me that every morning they get up and dance. I said, wonderful, very nice. So they get up and dance every morning. And they're not a dancer by profession, they just do it. Most of the time they said they don't know what they are doing, and they know they have gone too far when the downstairs, they live in an apartment, and the downstairs neighbors call. They said, okay. They've gone too far, they know. So now the body is unable to express itself. The body, you are the one who is the boss of the body. Who is the you? The you meaning the self-evident I, to which the body becomes evident, and which in itself is self-evident. I know I am. Yes or no? Yes. I know the body is. Yes or no? Yes. Exactly. So, yes. And all this is because the illuminer is shining the light always without blinking even once. This I, the Atma, the Atman, is lighting up the body constantly. Even in the sleep state, the body is being lit up. But since the place of cognition of the body, where the body is cognized as lit up, is in a causal state, namely the mind. Therefore, after sleep, you say, I slept very well. I was not even aware of the body. So the sleep is the body in sleep may be recognized in hindsight, but the rest of the time, the illuminer, the I, the true meaning of the I, the word I, is always shining the light on the status of the body. Now dragging itself. Now, yay, feeling good. Ayyo, catch. And it keeps changing. And now hungry. Oh, should I be hungry already? Doesn't matter. These days, everybody is eating small, frequent meals. But then we forget the word small. Only the word frequent is retained. So this is the state of the body. Not only that, the inner illuminer, Pratyag Atma, is shining the light not only on the state of the body, but the state of the mind. Now, calm, tranquil. But scarcely have I finished saying the word tranquil, then all the quills of the porcupine are up. Defensive, now offensive, now mean, now cruel, now angry. All these things. There is also a new emotion. What is that called? Hangry. When you are so hungry that you get angry. And so this is hangry. So this is all the range of emotions: tranquil, happy, sad, angry, fearful, revengeful. All these range of emotions. Who is the one that illumines? Same torch, same illuminer. Oh, the one that is behind the cell phone? No, the one that is the I, the indweller of this body, the truth of this body, mind, sense complex. That is the one that illumines everything. It brings the states of mind to light. But we don't pay any heed. What does the ahankara, the I notion here does? The I notion, instead of going with this illuminer, which is its true place, the true place of this ahankara, the I notion, is to identify with the illuminer. But alas, because of Atma Ajnanam, self-ignorance, it identifies with the illumined. Yeah, makes it, it's in the ahankara is always in bad company, and it doesn't keep good company. That's why the ahankara is called the what is this finger called? No, there's another bad name for it. Accusatory finger, accusing finger, accusing, because blames, and then when no one is left, it must be my fault. Blames oneself and blames others. Accusing finger. So the accusing finger, this is the I, because this is very active. This is what is called ahankara in Vedantic sign language, VSL. Yeah. So this is the accusing finger. Pointing, shaking the finger, you see, this is what it is, pointing, shaking, bossing everybody around. This is the ahankara. And the ahankara is great friends with this one. Who is this? Body, mind, senses. Or you can take it as physical body, sukshma sharira. What is sukshma sharira? Subtle body. And then what is this? Karana sharira, causal body. Causal body, don't get confused. It just means ignorance. So these three things are there. And this fellow is great friends with all of them. They go in a pack. And then they make fun of the thumb. Hey, fatty, what are you doing? They shame the thumb. Look how nice we are. And we are more or less lookalikes. We are of the same size. We are so happy. We are so wonderful. Look at you. Where did you come from? And what does fatty do? Fatty keeps quiet. Fatty does not defend itself. Fatty is just fine. Fatty just says, please pick, I have dropped a pencil on the floor, please pick it up without my help. and the four of them go like this. And then just like that, even though the thumb looks different, without it, the functionality of the hand is severely impaired. And in this darshtanta, in this, that which is exemplified, here the thumb stands for Brahman, Ishvara, Bhagavan. This is that. And then this finger is you. Why? Because you this is the one that describes you, means the jiva very well. Pointing, shaking. And this is the body, mind, sense complex, or the three kinds of bodies. So the thumb, so the teaching is like this. First, the index finger is made to bend. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Pranipata means you have to bend down. So when you bend down, what happens? The world looks slightly different. There is humility. And there is this feeling, I don't know, I have to learn. I have to find out what this is all about. And then it is made to be one with this. This is Tattvamasi in sign language, Vedantic sign language. This is Tat, Jagat Karanam Brahma, the cause of the universe. This is Tvam Pada, or that which is the you, the I, that is mistakenly involved and great friends with the body, mind, sense complex. I wrongly identified with the body, mind, sense complex, and it is made to pry away from the identification and then identify with that which its true home is, which is its true home is Om. That is what it is. It is made to do that. This is Chin Mudra. Somebody asked me, Chin Mudra, then where is the Chin? The Chin is not involved. No, it is not, nothing to do with the Chin. It is Chit plus Mudra. Chit means this Atma is called Chit. The truth of the I is called Chit, as in Sat Chit Ananda. So Chin Mudra. Chin Mudra means this Mudra which shows the teaching in the sign language. So this is exactly what is happening here. The illuminer here, standing in the place of Brahman or thumb, that inner manifestation of this Brahman, called Pratyagatma, that consciousness, that awareness is like the illuminer of the pot, illumines the body, illumines the states of the mind, illumines the sense organs. And who is this I? I am one with the illuminer. That is who I am. That is where the I should identify with. But instead, because of self-ignorance, what does it do? It identifies with the body, mind, sense complex. It identifies with everything that is illumined. The ahankara. So the ahankara doesn't say, today the mind, just now the mind is sad. What does the ahankara say? I am sad. The ahankara does not say the prana, the pranic functions is because of which there is hunger. What does the ahankara say? I am hungry. The ahankara does not say the eyes are not seeing very well today. What does the ahankara say? I can't see. I can't hear. And so when the I goes and joins everything finite and temporary, of course, sorrow ensues, fear ensues. This is a recipe for fear. If you want a samsara recipe, just misplace the I. Take away the I from the place that it rightfully enjoys of being the illumining consciousness, and then put it in the place of everything that is illumined, and that is what you get. Sorrow comes. Without even an invitation, it comes. So then, now what to do? Now we can understand this even better with the help of some verses from the Panchadashi. The 10th chapter of the Panchadashi is called Nataka Deepa. Nataka Deepa means the lamp. Here again is the lamp. The lamp in the theater. Theater lamp chapter. Nataka Deepa. And there is a beautiful analogy. So you have an old ancient amphitheater with all these circular seats, semicircle seats. And then there is a stage, all open air. And then what? There is a audience. The audience has come and sat down. And then there is a live orchestra. The violinist, the tabla man, and then everybody, the singer, musicians, all there is a live orchestra. They have also come and taken their place. Then there is a dancer. She is the main, that is the dance performance. So she is the main person here in the performance. So the Bharatanatyam dancer comes on the stage, does a big namaskara to Mother Earth. I'm going to step on you, please forgive me. And then she just whirls and twirls and does this intricate footwork, and everybody claps and everybody is in awe. And then she dances, and then the musicians also play, sing, everything. And then she goes away, and the audience goes home. The stage is now empty. What are we missing in this? We are missing the light. We are missing the lamp, the theater lamp. So in the middle of the stage, meaning in the middle of this amphitheater, there is this big pillar And on top of the pillar, they have lit a kind of a firebrand, a big lamp. The lamp illumines the audience. The lamp illumines the stage. The lamp illumines the music and the musicians. The lamp illumines the dancer and all her expressions. Bibhatsa, frightening, Shanta, tranquil, loving, hatred. There are 9 emotions, Navarasas. All of them she shows. And all of them is illumined by this lamp. And the lamp illumines the absence of the dancer too. Like when does that happen? In sleep, there is nothing to illumine. And that too is illumined that there is nothing to illumine. How do you know there is nothing to illumine? Because that is brought to light. So the presence of thoughts, illumined. I have a thought. How do you know you have a thought? Because I know. Sakshi, you are the Sakshi, you are that Sakshi Chaitanya, that consciousness, that witness consciousness, because of which everything comes to light. And which nobody has to bring to light because it is Svatasiddha. Svatasiddha, self-lit, self-illumined. This is how it is. And that, this chapter is, this whole chapter is a elaboration of the story of that illumining lamp and how it illumines everything that is outside. Outside means outside of the stage as the audience. The audience is like the Jagat. Sometimes they clap. Sometimes they go off to sleep because they are bored. In between, the dancer has gone to change her dress and the musicians are doing something, and then some people nod off. In Vedanta class, most people nod off. And so then they nod off. Then the audience is the Jagat. And then the dancer is the Jiva. And then the musicians are the all the other things, the body, mind, sense, complex, all these things. Very interesting. So the various emotions and everything, this light of consciousness, which here is represented outside of the dancer, but here it is called Dehi. In this chapter, in Vakya Vrtti, it is called Dehi. Deha asya asti iti Dehi. That illuminer which as though sports a body. See, we look at it a different way. We make the body real and say, oh, inside the body is this consciousness. There is no inside outside. Because space and time are part of this projection, really. So we have to reverse this. We have to make it do a headstand and say that illumining consciousness as though sports a body, as though has a mind, as though has senses. That is how we have to look at it. And so here we have, so the audience claps means we are waiting for the validation from the Jagat. And that too is illumined. Everybody needs to say how wonderful I am. And everybody needs to say how great I am. And everybody needs to praise me. And everybody needs to do something in order so that I am okay. And then this is how one, this is how one becomes Jagat dependent. And then the emotions, etc., are also illumined. This is from the expressions of the dancer. The expressions of the dancer are all these emotions, etc. All of them are illumined. The absence of those particular things are also illumined. In sleep, no thoughts, but the illuminer is there. Alupta Drik is called the name of this illuminer. Drik, seer. Alupta means the one that is never absent. The Atma doesn't even have eyelids. Because if you have eyelids, the Atma is a seer without eyelids. Because if you have eyelids, you mistakenly may even blink and you may miss something. But here, there's nothing to miss. It doesn't even have eyelids. It's permanently open eyes. It is the all-seeing eye. The seeing means illumining. That which brings everything to light. without even being absent for a moment. That is my glory. That is who I am. This is the owning up that needs to be done. So this is one particular analogy which is very useful to assimilate what is being said here. Another one is there in the Dakshinamurti Stotram, and there it goes like this. Nana chidra ghatodara sthita mahadhipa prabhabhaswaram jnanam yasya tu chakshuradikarana dvara bahispandate janamiti tameva bhantam anubhatye tat samastan jagat tasmai shri guru murtaye namaidam shri dakshinamurtaye. Here also the pot and the lamp are there. But this one is very interesting because here there is the example of a lamp with a pot upturned on it. Well, then there is no lamp because it is snuffed out. No. The pot has some holes in the form of a little moon, a crescent moon, little cutout holes in the form of a star, in the form of a sun, in the form of a bird, in the form of an animal, in the form of a few stick figures. All of them going to the market, all these things. There's all these things happening. And then this pot with various shaped holes is upturned on the lamp. In the ancient days, there was no disco. This is how one did this. And the lamp would be on a base that which had wheels. So you kept moving. This is how they would soothe the cranky baby at bedtime. Look, there's the moon, there's the sun in a dark room. You just spin this slowly, you rotate it. And then you see the sun going this way, the moon coming this way. You see the star, you see the animals, you see the stick figure. And all these things you see. How many lights? One light. But then that same light, as though it cannot wait, is pouring forth through these various apertures. Let's say there are 5 apertures because of the sense organs. That same light which is we are talking as the illuminer, that light of awareness, that light of consciousness, which is the true meaning of the word I, is going through the various apertures. And then lighting up those objects according to those apertures. Means what? So the aperture called the ear, light has the capacity to bring sounds to light. The apertures called the eyes have the capacity to bring form and color to light. This is how the whole thing, it's not 5 different sources of knowing. It's that same light, which is as though going through these various apertures and then bringing those objects to light. And then the jiva, the I notion, the ahankara says, I know, I know, janami iti. The jiva is not the knower. The knowing has already happened. One would say, despite the jiva, despite the ahankara, the knowing has happened, not because of the ahankara, but in spite of the ahankara, the knowing has happened. So really, one cannot take credit to say, I know. Yeah. That's why this knowledge is without a knower. This knowledge does not have a knower. It's like a knowledge without a knower. Because in the process of gaining which the knower itself is knocked off. What knower? Because there is no separate knower. If there is a separate knower and known, there is always 2. Where is Advaita? Then you have to say bye-bye non-duality. Non-duality means there is only one. And the knower and the known are just the different, as though different expressions of that same consciousness, which is neither knower nor known, yet can illumine both, yet can bring both to light. This is Vedanta. This is non-duality. And this is what it is here being taught as through this simple analogy of the lighter and the lit up being belonging to 2 orders of reality. They have nothing to do with one another. What is the light? The light is that which brings something to light. And what is that which is lit up? It is insentient. And what is signified by the light is the source of sentience, myself. I am the only source of sentience. This is where I want you to go next. I am the only source of sentience in the whole universe, in the whole Jagat. But what about the other people sitting here? When I say I, the I in you is the I in me, is the I in he, is the I in she. It's the same I. That same I is the source of sentience. It's a single source of sentience. That is why, there is no way to say, oh, I'm insignificant. How can you say you're insignificant? Where is the insignificance? Insignificance is not at all a possibility because you are the most significant thing in the universe. Remove the I, remove that source of light, and then remove consciousness. I means consciousness. Remove consciousness, remove awareness. What is there? Nothing. Nothing is there. No, but what about all the things that need to be lit up? I'm coming to that because that is also not there, because that sentience alone projects as itself as objects that are insentient. This will come to later in the text. So I don't want to, I don't want to go there right now. This will come to later when we study what is called Tat Pada, the meaning of the word Tat in Tat Tvam Asi. So now what are we studying? Tvam. Yeah, we are studying Tvam, and then soon we will study after verse 27, 28. We will start on the Tat Pada. Tat Pada means the word Tat. When we see that, all this will become very clear. How the illuminer and illumined ultimately are one, because there is only illuminer. And the illumined is a dependent reality. And what is the word for dependent reality? Mithya. Mithya. Like even the pot in relation to clay is mithya. Pot, sat. Clay, sat. Pot, mithya. Mithya doesn't mean false. Mithya doesn't mean delusion, illusion. Mithya just means a dependent reality. Like even your shadow is dependent upon you. The pot is dependent on its existence for clay. Ultimately, we can say with great happiness that there is no such thing called pot apart from clay. In fact, if you see pot, I only see clay. If you beg to differ, please take the clay and please take the pot and save me the clay. Can you do that? Can you take the pot without the clay? No, not possible. And so that means the pot is entirely dependent on clay. The weight of the pot is the weight of clay. The color of the pot is the color of clay. Smell of the pot is not the smell of the pot. It belongs to clay. Earthy smell. In fact, the whole pot is nothing but clay. But is clay pot? No. Pot is clay, but clay is not pot. This is exactly what is. So clay is sat. In this example, clay is sat, pot is mithya. Similarly, the entire Jagat, the whole universe of names, forms, and all expressions, all manifestations, mithya. What is Sat? The illuminer, that consciousness alone is Sat. So the consciousness is both the cause of everything, the cause of all manifestations. And the consciousness is non-separate from those manifestations, has as though entered each and every manifestation to make it alive, to breathe the life into it. That's why the body becomes alive and capable of transaction. That's why the mind is alive. That's why the senses are alive. That's why everything comes to light. Just amazing. This is just so fascinating. And so the illuminer, Sat, illumined mithya. The lighter upper, Sat. That's why you are unlike anything else. You're the only source of Sat. How many Sats in this world? Only one. The I, the singular I, is the only source of sentience, the only source of awareness, the only source of consciousness. Everything else, whether we are talking internally, quote unquote, within the body-mind complex or externally, is all just the same. The illuminer stands apart from the illumined. Okay, but who will illumine the illuminer? Who will illumine the illuminer? No one. No one needs to illumine the illuminer, just like you don't need a special flashlight to show the sun to somebody. The sun illumines itself and illumines all the things in the universe also. Similarly, the self-shining I illumines everything, including itself. This is very handy. This is very nice. That's why we say self-illumined, self-evident. So, deha avabhasakaha, dehi tatha aham, aham bodha vigraha. I am an incarnation of consciousness. I am an incarnation of consciousness, and I am the embodiment of consciousness. Bodha vigraha. I'm not. In other words, embodiment of consciousness means what? I'm nothing but consciousness. All I am is consciousness. There is nothing other than consciousness, and that consciousness I am. Very powerful verse. Very nice. Putra vittadayo bhavaha. You see, you are eating up the visarga. Yeah. So that has to be articulated. Let's try again. Putra vittadayo bhavaha. Yasya sheshataya priyaha. Drashta sarva priyatamaha. Sohamityavadharaya. So this is actually we should read 25 also. They go together here. Parapremaspadatayama na bhuvamaham sada bhuyasamiti yo drashta sohamityavadharaya. So putra means what? Son, children. Yeah. Then vitta means what? Wealth. Yeah. So putra, vitta, adi, etc. Other things, and things you can buy from wealth and all that. So all this comes under putra and vitta. Putra, adi, also mitra, friends, social circle, all these things, Other possessions, house. House comes under this. Wealth, children, house, all possessions, all that. Bhavaha. Bhavaha means their beingness, their existence. So first we'll just see the meaning. So the existence of what? The putra. The existence of putra, mitra, and vitta, money. The existence of children, money, spouse. What else? House. House, spouse, children, wealth, and other things. Friends, all these things. Their existence, yasya, for whom, sheshataya, for whose sake, sheshataya, priyaha, for whose sake they become dear. So there's, you're not in love with a neighbor's child, okay? You're in love only with your own child. And that's how it is. That's how the arrangement is. You may love that child because it's just a general love, but specifically you're only worried about the welfare of your own child. You're not worried about the welfare of the neighbor's child. You will say that child has its own parents. This is my job and this is my child. This is my spouse. This is my house. Similarly, you don't go to repair a crack in somebody else's house. Yeah. Otherwise, we have to wonder where is the crack, here or in the house. So we have a doubt then. So that doesn't happen. So there are certain things you gather for yourself. You gather for yourself a safety net of things and people because of which you find yourself, supposedly that's because, because we are Vedantins, supposedly sane. So for your sanity, what do you think you need? You whatever you think you need, you shore up, you gather up. In order to be okay, what do I need? I need a good education. So I'm going to study. I'm going to study well. Then I need a job. So I'm going to get a job. Because in America, there is no free lunch. And then, so I need a job. Then I'm successful in my job. But then I have nobody to share it with. So therefore, enter who? Spouse. Then the spouse came, and then what? Then, of course, the honeymoon period was over very quickly. And then, of course, what to do? We are very bored of each other. So now here comes the child. Aham, avam, vayam. Aham means I, avam, us both, vayam, all of us. So now the family has grown. Then the children fight with you and they say, we need a cat, we need a dog. Okay, that also comes. Even though you never grew up with cats and dogs, for their sake, you get cat, you get dog, you get a mouse. People keep that. I don't mean computer mouse. Yeah. In this country, everything is there. They keep the mouse, but they will not call it a mouse. They'll say it's a pig, guinea pig. But actually, it's a mouse only. Okay, looks like a mouse, acts like a mouse. Genus is mouse. Okay. Yeah, so but they call it pig. And so then this is, so then you have this. So this is for the entertainment of the children, because they also start feeling like they want something of their own. So you have something of your own, and in order to keep what you have of your own, you should get your own, their own. Does that make sense? So then this is how it is. And then if supposing we are talking of a rich family, the children are not going to take the dog for a walk. In India, this frequently happens. Very rich people, they have dog walkers. So you hand over the leash and the dog to the dog walker. And the dog walker says, is it okay if I bring a friend along with me, because it's boring to walk the dog by myself. So then this keeps growing. You see how this keeps growing? But then here we are focused on whatever the I thinks it needs. I here, ahankara, I. The ahankara, the one that is firmly identified with the body-mind complex, whatever it thinks it needs, what does it do? It gathers up. It gathers up all these things. And then it becomes very altruistic. And then it tells the spouse, I love you so much, and nobody will love you like I do. I have so much caring for you. But really the truth is, you don't love them for their sake, you love them for your own sake. This is what, these two verses are from the a summation of the Brihadaranyaka Vakya, Maitreyi Brahmana, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. And then there, Yajnavalkya tells Maitreyi, his wife, he says, toodle-doo, I'm going to take sannyasa. Bye-bye. She says, wait a minute. I just wanted to get your permission. She says, permission not given. You can't just go away like that. No, but I have left you a lot of wealth. She says, will I get moksha from wealth? Being an honest man, yeah, he said no. Maybe a Kali Yuga husband would have said yes, and then gone away. But being an honest person, he said no. Na vittena asha asti amritatvasya. There is no immortality. I'm going for the sake of immortality, he says, to firm up my nishtha. I have this knowledge and I want to be with this knowledge and firm this up. So that's why I'm going to lead a life of contemplation. I'm ready to drop this institution called marriage, a very scary prospect for everybody. And but then tell me, but this story is very good because he brings her along with him. They go together, which is very, very nice after this teaching. So then she says, tell me, will I get moksha through wealth? And then he, being an honest man, says there is no hope for immortality, moksha, redemption from a sense of wanting, from this sense of lack with money. So that means what? Money is of no use? Absolutely, money is of no use. But I have money. Enjoy it. There is no problem with having money. Money cannot make you have moksha. Money cannot deny moksha either. But it has nothing to do with moksha. And so therefore, it's not a means for moksha. It will just make your life comfortable. That's all. You can buy many things, whatever you think will make you comfortable. That's how your life will be. Upajivitam means other people who have resources. You also have resources. Your life will be comfortable. Money has nothing to do with freedom. Then she says, teach me, what is it that you're going for? Give this knowledge to me right now. Then that's when he talks some things. He said, this Atma must be understood. The I, which is being unfolded in the verses of the Vakya Vrtti, that has to be properly understood. How? Shravanam. Shravanam means repeated listening. But one time listening, why is that not enough? Because the orientations are very, very strong. From Purva Janma, from previous lifetimes, then the lifetimes before then. And what is the orientation? I'm a sad, bad, mad jiva. I'm a jaded, faded jiva. Nobody loves me. In fact, I also don't love myself. This is the conclusion, and a confused conclusion. Confused, why? Because I hate this state of affairs. I want it to change, and yet I don't know how. Other than going to malls and balls. How do you spell mall? M-A-U-L. How do you spell ball? B-A-W-L. Okay, yeah. After mall, ball. Yeah, mall is where you go. That's why I changed the spelling, because mall is a place where you go to get mauled of your pocketbook, spending more than necessary. It's called retail therapy. Okay, yeah. Go and buy something. Then after that you sit and bawl. That's all it is. So this is how one tries to fix the state of affairs, but that fixing is not the proper method. Because the fixing is just like putting a band-aid on the Grand Canyon. How is that going to work out? Here there's a cavernous wound, which is a mistake. It is not that I'm not lovable. In fact, I am the most lovable thing and I don't know it. It is not that I am a wanting person. In fact, I'm not a wanting person at all, but I don't know it. So if the problem is that I don't know, then the antidote should be this knowledge. It's very, very clear. That's why Shravanam. Then Shravanam gives the knowledge by negating all the misidentifications and bringing you in touch with who you are. Repeated listening. One time you feel good and then you go back and then you say, oh, I don't think I need any more Vedanta classes because I'm doing really, really well. I don't think I need any more Vedanta classes. And then the very next day something happens. Oh. And then you call up, when is the next class? So it needs a committed exposure. So then that is Shravanam. Shravanam does the job of lightening this confusion and enlightening the mind as to its own nature. But there might be some doubts that prevail. I know I'm Brahman, but how? How am I Brahman? This requires doubt removal. It is called Mananam. And that is again listening some more and asking questions. That's why we always, I always say, if there are any questions, please ask. Because this is not some kind of a belief-based thing. You are the whole. Yes, sir. Yes, I believe you. This is not how the Guru-Shishya relationship is. It's not a matter for belief. It's a matter for analysis and assimilation and understanding. So then, after that, sometimes what happens is that after Mananam, you know you are Brahman. You don't have any doubts about it either. But then there is a special problem. I know I'm Brahman, but I'm not behaving like Brahman. I get angry still, I get sad, I feel like beating other people up, and I myself feel beaten up. What to do? This is where we say contemplation. Atma vai are nididhyasitavyaha. Nididhyasanam, contemplation. So you understand how to walk the talk. It's very important. Walk the talk. People keep coming to me and saying, my child is 10 years old. Please teach it Vedanta. I say, the Vedanta is not for children, it's for you. No, but I don't know how to teach the child Vedanta. You don't have to teach the child Vedanta. You attend Vedanta and you behave as though you are attending the Vedanta classes. You behave as though you are Brahman, and then the child learns. In the beginning, it will say, you are always leaving me to go to Gita class. Sometimes a significant other also behaves like a child and says the same thing. You're leaving me to do this, you're leaving me to do that, you're never available, and what is this and what? And then it gets a little more colorful. How long have you been studying Vedanta? 5 years. The anger still hasn't gone. And still you complain so much, and so quickly you get upset. At that time, don't get riled up. Just say, yes, I have a little ways to go. Be humble. We just say, yes, I'm not perfect. I'm still studying. And then you have a nice opening. That's why I need to go so often. You say that. Because I'm not as bright. And so I need a little more classes to get to this place. Then a day will come. It will come. It might have already come in your lives where there is in fact the significant other and the children say, it's been a long time since you attended a retreat, please go. You're getting a little testy these days, please go to your retreat. Attend something even on Zoom Kulam, if not on Guru Kulam. Please attend something to go, because they understand how it benefits you, and if it benefits you, it definitely benefits them by osmosis. So really, what is this point of this verse? Everything is for your own sake. You're not studying Vedanta for the sake of children. You're not studying Vedanta for the sake of the significant other. It's for your own sake. Vedanta is for your own sake. Wealth is for your own sake. Children are loved, not for the sake of the children, but for your own sake. We talked about this a couple of days ago in a different context. It's all for you. You are the one. It's all for you. You are the hero. Therefore, Yagyavalkya, the sage, caps his teaching by this very famous statement. What is that? Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. Everything becomes lovable for the sake of the self, which is ironically already lovable and already pleased. The pleased self I do not know. And therefore what? I try to make the self pleased by putting it in contact with all kinds of objects of the sense organs. And in this kind of a contact high, I try to enjoy a little bit of happiness. But this doesn't work for very long. How many desires are you able to fulfill in one day? The answer is none. Yeah. Why? Because there are many people with the same desire. So then this is not happening. And so desires are not being fulfilled, whatever one has, and then the things are not going one's way. All these things cause a lot of frustration because one doesn't know that the self is already pleased. The pleased self is as though overpowered by self-ignorance. Avidya. Vidya and Avidya are both feminine. So Mataji, the matriarch of this family line. And because of Avidya, Avidya has a child. What is its name? If Avidya had a child, what would be its name? Kama. Absolutely. This is the family tree of ignorance. Avidya has a child, Kama. And the third generation, Kama has a child, Karma. Because when you have a desire, you cannot sit still. You want to work towards getting it fulfilled. Karma is the grandchild of Atma Avidya, grandbaby. Then karma has what? Karma phala. Karma has twins, Papa Punya. Yes. Good karma, bad karma. Good merits and demerits, both are there. And then the next generation is called Punarjanma, rebirth into the same, sorrow go round. Some sorrow go round, not merry go round. Sorry go round. This is the avidya kama karma shrinkhala. Shrinkhala means the cycle, the chain of avidya, kama, karma phala, punarjanma, etc. All these things. And then, so therefore, here, for whose sake these objects of delight become dear. The one, know yourself to be that person for whose sake the objects of delight become very dear. This is point A. Okay? Know yourself to be that person for whom the objects of delight become very dear. Then, second, who is this person? I. Who is this I? The observer of the fact that the objects of delight become very dear to me, the ahankara. That observer, catch hold of this observer because the observer is the dearest of all. Known, the observer is the dearest of all. Unknown, the observer is something to be understood through Vedanta. Whether known or unknown, the observer is the dearest of all. Dearer than the spouse, dearer than the child, dearer than the cat, the dog, everything. Dearer than the possessions. The observer is that whose nature is already dear, Priya, very, very lovable, extremely lovable. Who is this observer? I. That I is very, very lovable already. Doesn't have to make it into something that is lovable. By gathering some people who keep saying, I love you, you don't need that. You don't need that. Ultimately, you don't need that. It's okay if you want that now, but ultimately, you don't need that. This is why Vedanta becomes very scary. Because as soon as you start studying it, the significant others, even though they may not know much about Vedanta, they'll say, oh, if this is what it is, you're going to leave me. You're going to go away. You won't need me at all. But that's provided. This need me means what? Need me means I may not need you dysfunctionally. That is the idea. I don't need you to validate me. That is the idea. You may not need something, but you can enjoy it fully. In fact, that enjoyment and that kind of a love is freeing. It's not caught up in expectations. So there is no need to fear Vedanta because it gives emotional maturity to regard yourself as the only source of love. Everything else is a resource. I am the only source. There is no reason to get scared. It's not about leaving relationships. It's about elevating the relationships by removing all the tired, chronic patterns of dysfunctionality. It's learning to love in a very free way. by accepting the other person for who they are. Who can do that? Only persons who have studied Vedanta. They can alone do that. Otherwise, you look at the other person through the eyes of need. I want this from you. I have to have this from you in order to be happy. I'll scratch your back and you scratch my back. Oh, but you're not scratching my back. That's because you did a bad job yesterday. So that's why I'm not going to scratch your back. It's like cats, One cat, two cats I saw one time. And then one cat went and put its head near the mouth of the other cat. And the other cat began grooming it nicely. Licking nicely, grooming, taking away all the dirt and the dander and grooming it. This continued for a long time. And then as I was watching, the cat who had been grooming said, okay, now it must be my turn. It puts its head on the other one, and the other one gave it a whack. Toppled it off the chair. This is samsara. So this is one has to grow. This is the beauty of this text and all other texts that we study is that one grows. One grows out of this dysfunctional need to hang on to objects of desire, including people, and seeking validation because I'm unable to validate myself. I'm unable to understand that I am the source of love. Therefore, I'm unable to love myself. I'm unable to approve of myself. And I'm unable to understand that I am not a wanting person. So therefore, these kinds of verses and this teaching makes it really, it's really very, very essential. Not just for sadhus living in the Himalayas or wherever, but for people in the world. In the world, negotiate the relationships. How to negotiate it? How to bring the best out of yourself. And in so doing, you bring the best out of the other person. This is the opposite of samsara, where you bring out the worst in one another. This is why Vedanta is needed by everybody. Children, adults, everyone alike. Sadhus, non-sadhus. It is imperative that one studies Vedanta. In fact, this is Swadharma. Swadharma means one's duty to study Vedanta, through which one's life is immediately elevated to a place of objectivity rather than being mired in subjectivity. And then it also, when you help yourself, everybody else is also helped. And then the verse that's connected to it, let's see. Soham vityavadharaya drashta sarva priyatamaha. Priyatamaha means the most loved. The most loved is the drashta, the seer is the beloved, most beloved of all. All means what? Beloved compared to the putra, vitta, etc. House, spouse, children, wealth, all those things. So then, drashta sarva priyatamaha. And that drashta, that seer, the one who is seeing, I have all these things to make me feel good and prop me up. That is the one that is the most beloved. Connect with that seer, the truth of that seer, the content of that seer, and know yourself to be that alone. Identify with that. Then, parapremaspadataya ma na bhuvam aham sada. Bhuyasam iti yah drashta soham iti avadharaya. This is not a great argument. I mean, it is there in the Shastra, so we have to look at it, but it doesn't really quite correspond with many people's feelings or the reality of where people are right now. And we don't even need this argument. I mean, I'll tell you what the argument is, but we don't even need this argument that much, because we can just say that it is this consciousness, the one that is the lighter upper of everything within and without. That's enough for us. So here, parapremaspadataya, because of that which is the source, which is the source of all love. Because of the I being the source of all love, there is this feeling, mana bhuvam. Mana bhuvam, may I ever, ma bhuvam aham sada. May I ever be. The desire to be is pointed out here. And this has an abiding presence in the Shastra. The desire to be. May I never come to an end. Yes, I mean, you can say that most people have it. But what about the people who want to put an end to their lives? They don't have that feeling many times. May I never come to an end. They don't have that feeling. So therefore, it doesn't address everybody's reality. It addresses most jiva's reality, including that of mosquitoes. That's why it bites you somewhere when you're not looking. If it bit you right here in full light, what would happen to it? It would get moksha immediately with your hand. You would send it to Brahmaloka. And so therefore, it bites you where it's not seen, so it is not caught. And that's why the insects have 360-degree vision. You go slowly over the housefly, you go like this, and it sees your hand from a mile away and flies away. And it trolls you. It will sit there thinking, okay, I'll be caught. Yeah, they let them think I'm going to be caught. And then you say, aha, caught the fellow. And then it runs, flies away. So this is a kind of a thinking that every jiva wants to be, nobody wants to come to an end. And maybe that is true, but to this we have to add something. We have to say every jiva wants to live happily. Then you say yes, then it is true. Every jiva wants to live happily without feeling tortured, abused mentally, emotionally, physically. So every jiva, sada bhuyasam, may I be always. That feeling is there when I'm, may I live happily ever after. That's how the fairy tales end. They lived happily ever after. That is what it is. May I live happily. May I live without being troubled by the tritapas. What are the tritapas? Sources connected to over which I have no control. Adhi daivika, adhi bhautika, sources in my surroundings. And then finally, most importantly, within myself, adhyatmika. All the self-censure, self-judgment, that is also a source of torture. So may I live happily without the three sources of affliction. This is everybody's desire. Why? Because one is the source of love. That is why the desire to be is there. Because that which is the source of love, we always want to be with it, right? So if you are the source of love, you have to be with it always. You have to be with yourself. You have to continue to be. May I never not be. May I always be. So the desire to be is further proof here that the further proof of the I, which is already that which never comes to an end. May I never come to an end is connected to the I, which never comes to an end. In the vision of the Upanishad, the I never comes to an end because it is ananta, limitless. So the limitless I that never comes to an end is it expresses itself in the everyday as I'm not ready to go yet. Let's see if things become better. Even the person who is having difficulty in life says, let's see, maybe tomorrow will be a better day. And then what else? We can tell some stories. We can say like, the person said, I am just in terrible straits. Everything is hurting. I'm 95 years old. Yama, where are you? Come, take me. And you know what? Yama happened to be in the neighborhood. And Yama said, oh, 2 for the price of 1. Let's pick up both the jivas. It'll save me a trip. Yama, God is presiding deity of death. Yama dropped in. All right, grandpa, let's go. No. Take away your inauspicious face. How dare you come? But you were just calling me. No, I was just saying that. Great grandchild is going to be born. Oh, so can I, when is it going to be born? In 6 months. So can I come in 6 months? No, no, no. We have to do a special ritual because great grandchild I have to hold, and then they bathe me in gold coins. I have to endure that and I have to enjoy that. So, so okay, I'll come in 9 months then. All right, off with you. 9 months later, he comes again. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. There is some, they have the grandchildren have purchased a new house. There is a housewarming ceremony, Griha Pravesham. When is the Griha Pravesham? In 4 months. Okay, I'll come in 5 months. Yeah, go now. And then 5 months later also, no, 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 no. Who asked you to come? One is never ready to go. Is never ready to go. Why? Because the I, which is one firmly thinks I am as good as the body, mind, sense complex, is in fact that which doesn't even need the body to be sentient, doesn't need the mind to think, doesn't need the senses to enjoy anything. It enjoys without the senses, it thinks without the mind, and it is all pervasive without the body. So not knowing this, one is in love with the body, one is in love with this dilapidated source of existence. And then one wants to continue that because the indweller, is in close proximity with that which is finite, the finite expression of this body, mind, sense complex. And therefore, this love for the body is there. The mind is the love for the mind, the love to continue to be is there. No time is a good time to die. No matter how old you are, you want to be alive. Why? Because this is the truth of you. The truth of you is that one is not subject to death at all. But one doesn't know that, being identified wrongly with the body, with the mind, with the senses. One doesn't know that. And so therefore, here the teaching is, when you have that love for yourself, when you have the thought, oh, I want to be forever, catch hold of the drashta, the witness of that thought. And that witness is already the most beloved of all. And that witness is not going anywhere. It is never coming to an end. Catch hold of that witness and give it a name. Call it myself. Call it I. That is the idea. Very, very beautiful verse. Call it I. So aham, saha aham iti avadharaya. Ascertain that this alone I am. Who is this? Saha, who is this Saha? Drashta. I am the seer of what? The thought that the thought that may I ever be, may I never cease to be. Because that seer you are, not the one who is having that anxious thought. That is the idea. Okay. Yeah. More we'll see in the evening. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Here's a question. Would we not say that children and all become dear to the Ahankara? Yes, absolutely. You are correct. Any other questions? You are doing very well after coming from Singapore. You're amazing. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. We'll see in the evening.